Hello, my name is Ioana, and today I'm going to be presenting the second life skill assignment about the company Fertilife. It is an American company that specializes in creating fertilizers that make the plants grow faster and bigger. So, because of the United States and Canada's laws that are protecting the environment and also the citizens, the company expanded in Mexico, a country with fewer regulations. So after expanding, there were a couple unethical decisions that has been made, and we discussed them in assignment number 1. But now, as time passed by, the company became more and more unethical, and the company actually brought global negative attention to the actions they were taking. So they implemented new experimental fertilizing techniques that were creating health issues for the lower ranked Mexican employees. So I do believe this is a problem and it is unethical because the company is putting its profits not only before the employee satisfactions but also before the employee's health. So according to Edward Freeman, the business should create value for customers, suppliers, employees, communities. And this view is called managing for stakeholders. He believes that as companies are becoming more complex, industries are becoming more complex, and since there are so much uncertainty, it's harder for businesses to succeed if they are only focusing on making profits. So over the years, the laws have shifted and you take into account the interest of groups, as mentioned before, employees, customers. So in this particular case, the focus should be on the employee's health, not on the profit. This goes hand in hand with Robert Frank's point of view, which I personally liked, that being ethical and socially responsible is going to bring the businesses higher profit in the long term. On the other side of the spectrum, there is Milton Friedman, that he believes the opposite. He believes that businesses should only use the resources and engage in activities to increase profit as long as they don't engage in fraud. So to him, businesses don't have other responsibilities other than making money. So as mentioned before, the laws protecting the employees are really flexible in Mexico. And according to Milton's point of view, Fertilife could continue using the new technique without getting sued. In my point of view, I agree with Edward Freeman, because hurting employees' health in order to make profit is morally wrong and completely unethical. Moving on to the next ethical problem that the company is facing, the Mexican employees. Females, they are experiencing the inappropriate behavior, and as a woman, I do believe this is unethical and morally wrong. The Mexican women are lower level employees. They work for an American company, and they are experiencing inappropriate behavior from a male manager. I do believe they are experiencing this because of sex-based discrimination, and they are being treated unfairly because they are women. Also, they try to fix the issue by talking to the top management, but not only that behavior has not improved, but it also got worse. So moving on to the solutions to these two problems. I do believe all these employees, the top management, and those that have engaged in the unethical decisions should be fired, and the managers that put people first should be hired. So Jeffrey, I'm not gonna pronounce his last name, Pfeffer. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He believed that it's critical to care about people if you want the products, the profit, productivity, and innovation to follow. So according to him, to make this change, the company policy should be revised. The focus should be on keeping the employees healthy and feeling that their work matters and they are being considered. After that, the corporate language should be revised and any offensive language should be eliminated. As mentioned before, corporate leaders that believe in ethical behavior should be hired. And I do believe employees should attend programs that will make them more people-oriented. Now, to go back to the action that the top management did when the women went to them for help, they totally ignored it. And the American manager started treating the Mexican woman even worse. So in that case, I'm wondering, did the top managers were morally wrong as well, or they were just facing the pressure in the business? So for example, Frederick Bird and James Waters, they talk about the moral muteness of managers and how managers that express their ethical values and that take ethical actions, they are seen as not being good enough. So since the most American managers were unethical at Fertilife, ethics was perceived as a disadvantage in the business. We could see that with the way they went about the waste, the way they went about putting the Mexican managers in lower positions, how they send them on the plant to live there for 6 days out of the week, and so on. So I do believe that as part of fixing the problem, we need to understand that it requires time. And the two philosophers mentioned above, Frederick Bird and James Waters, they mentioned that different opinions, views should be allowed, and it's normal to disagree and to talk about different visions, but it is not normal to criticize somebody. So for example, let's say a new manager comes in at Fertilife. He could say his opinion about how to go about the employees' health, about implementing the new laws about fertilizer, but he could not personally attack the managers that implemented that laws before. Another philosopher point of view that I do believe perfectly matches the solution is Lynn Sharpayne. He believes that everything starts from the top down, and just managers set the tone for the behavior of the company. So the values, norms, and beliefs that the company has determines if unethical business practices are going to take place. So with this being said, I do believe that the best option for Fertilife is to fire all the managers and employees that were engaged in unethical behavior and to hire people-oriented and managers that put people first. Amartya Sen, he also talked about how this in the long term brings more profits, and he gave the example of Adam Smith with the butcher, the brewer, and the baker. So he believes that the society doesn't benefit because these three mentioned above care about the society, but because they care about themselves. So with this being said, if Fertilife would care about the employees' health, then their image globally would be improved, then it would increase brand recognition, which would ultimately increase the profits. Another solution that I came up with is represented by implementing ethics and compliance programs. So I did some research, and I do believe that those are crucial in order to obtain a strong ethical culture in today's world. Those type of programs ensure that the employees recognize the values and that they follow the laws and the codes of conduct. Initiating, communicating, and monitoring these ethical values promote legal and ethical conduct. So through these programs, ethics should just be constantly reinforced by everyone in the organization and also checked through the system implemented by, of course, high-level personnel. In conclusion, with the wrong management and with the wrong culture, the unethical actions cannot be controlled, and the solution is represented by just bringing on new personnel and firing the unethical managers, not even trying to fix their behavior, because once they were involved in that unethical behavior, I don't believe, yes, they can change a little bit, but not where they completely put people first and not profit. That's all. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy my presentation.